So hi everyone, this is Midnight Mommy. So for my tutorial, tuturo ko sa inyo yung Newton's second law and force diagrams. So in my previous tutorial, tinuro ko doon kung paano mag-construct ng force diagram. So this time naman, i-apply naman natin siya sa word problems. And although meron na siyang mga prepared na force diagrams, at least mas maintindihan nyo kung paano ginamit yung force diagrams dito. So an applied force of 15 newtons is used to accelerate an object to the right across a frictional surface. The object encounters 10 newtons of friction. So use the diagram to determine the normal force, the net force, the mass, and the acceleration of the object. So we have to neglect air resistance. Okay, so basic to sa problem, kailangan nating makuha yung mga blank values dito. Okay, so remember na yung object natin, ang movement niya is only across the right. Okay, so dun lang siya sa right. Okay, so kung ibig sabihin nun, horizontal lang yung movement ng ating object. So along the vertical, wala tayong movement. So we can assume that along the vertical, the object is at rest. So kapag ganito, na wala kang movement along the vertical, that means balance yung dalawang forces that is acting along the vertical. So ano yung mga forces na yan? Ito yung normal force and yung gravitational force. So since balance sila, that means same lang sila ng value. Kaya yung gravitational force natin na 80 newtons, yan din yung value ng normal force natin. 80 newtons din siya. Okay, next, solve naman natin yung net force. So pag sinabi natin net force, i-add lang natin yung mga forces natin doon sa ating object. So in this case, ang movement natin na kino-consider is along the horizontal. So yung dalawang forces acting along the horizontal is yung applied force and yung frictional force. So i-add lang natin tong dalawa na. So applied force plus friction force. So remember, kapag nag-a-add tayo ng mga forces, ang mga forces ay vector quantity. So that means kailangan natin gumamit ng sign convention. Positive ang gagamitin natin kapag ang movement ng object natin is to the right or it is going upwards. And then negative kapag ang movement natin is going to the left or it's going downward. Okay? So in this case, add na natin yung mga forces natin. So yung sa net force natin, ang applied force natin is 50 newtons. So since yung 50 newtons natin, it's moving to the right, so that means positive ito. So gagamitin natin positive 50. And then yung sa friction force natin, this is going to the left. So kung left siya, ibig sabihin negative yung sign na gagamitin natin. Kaya ito magiging negative 10 newtons. Okay, so pag in-add ngayon natin to, ang net force natin now will be equal to positive 40 newtons. So since positive yung kanyang sign, that means ang direction natin is to the right. Yan. So ito na yung sagot natin dito. So the net force is equal to 40 newtons and it is acting to the right. Okay. So next na pwede nating sagutan dito is yung mass. Okay, so paano natin masasagutan yung mass? So kung marirecall ninyo, yung formula natin for finding the weight that is equal to Fg is equal to mg. So therefore, para ma-solve natin ang mass, i-divide lang natin both sides of the equation by the acceleration due to gravity. Kaya mangyari dito, the mass is just equal to Fg over g. Okay, so ang Fg natin is 80 newtons. I-divide natin siya sa acceleration due to gravity na 9.8 meters per second squared. So pag in-input natin siya sa calculator, ang makukuha natin na sagot dyan is 8.16 kilograms. Yan, so ito yung mass natin, 8.16. And then finally, to calculate for the acceleration, so tandaan natin na yung acceleration natin is equal to net force over the mass. Yung net force natin na 40 newtons, i-divide lang natin siya sa mass na 8.16 kilograms. Okay, so pag in-input natin yan sa calculator, ang makukuha nating sagot dyan is 4.9 meters per second squared. Yan, so dito natin siya lalagay. So, ang direction ng acceleration natin is the same direction as the net force. So, 5 kilogram object sliding to the right and encountering a friction shows that it slows down. So, the coefficient of friction between the object and the surface is 0.1. Determine the force of gravity, the normal force, the force of friction, the net force, and the acceleration. Okay, so given tayo dito ng mass na 5 kilograms. So, since meron tayong mass na 5 kilograms, pwede natin makompute muna yung ating weight o yung Fg. So Fg is equal to mg. So ang mass natin is 5 kilograms and then multiply lang natin siya sa 9.8 meters per second squared yung ating acceleration due to gravity. Okay, so 49 newtons yung ating Fg. So since ang ating Fg is 49 newtons at yung body natin, ang movement lang naman niya is along the horizontal, ibig sabihin along the vertical, balance yung forces natin. So that means yung Fg natin dito na 49 newtons, yan din yung value ng Fn. So 49 newtons din siya. Okay? So next one, pwede nating makompute dito yung ating friction. So yung friction natin, remember, ang formula natin for friction is mu times Fn. So substitute lang natin. So ang mu natin dito, sabi dyan, we have 0.1. Multiply lang natin yung normal force natin, which is equal to 49 newtons. And sa calculator, ang makuha nating sagot dito is 4.9 newtons. Okay, and then finally, compute natin muna yung net force. So paano natin mako-compute ang net force dito? So based dito sa diagram natin, ang only force that is acting along your object as it moves along the horizontal is only the friction. Kaya yung net force natin is also equal to your friction. Kaya net force here is 4.9 newtons. Okay, so saan ang direction ito? This one is to the left. Next, let's compute for the acceleration. So yung acceleration natin is equal to F net over m. Yan. So yung F net natin, so that's 4.9 newtons. I-divide lang natin siya doon sa ating mass na 5 kilograms. So ang makukuha nating sagot dito will be 0.98 meters per second squared. Yan. So ang direction ng ating acceleration is also to the left. So remember na same lang yung direction ng ating force, ng ating net force and ng ating acceleration. Yan. So, sana nakatulong to ng malaki sa inyo. So, sa mga susunod kong videos, ipapakita ko naman yung ibang cases ng Newton's second law of motion.